Hi, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. Green, and this is another of my lessons on Algebra 1. I want you to notice it's the last lesson in this unit, so you need to be ready. We're going to be taking a unit test pretty quickly here, so you want to make certain you're understanding everything. And what I'm going to do today is just opposite of what I did yesterday. Our last lesson, I took an equation, except it was an inequality, and we learned how to graph that inequality on a graph. Today, we're going to take a graph and figure out how to write the inequality from it. It's not hard. It really is easy. So I want you to think four things I need to determine every time. I need to find the y-intercept. Well, if I were just doing a line, I'd have to know that one anyway. I have to determine the slope. If it was just a line, I was trying to figure out the equation of a line, I'd have to know that one anyway. So these are not anything new there. I'm going to have to decide, is it a dashed line or a solid line? And I'm going to pick a point and I'm going to determine which way the inequality points, either greater than or less than. So, not a difficult process. Let's go through it step by step. First of all, here's a graph. And it's got an inequality graphed on it. How do I know it's an inequality? It's shaded on one side. That tells me it's an inequality, not an equality. Okay? That's how you can tell. It's got a shading on it. So, first thing, where's my y-intercept? Right there. And so that is at 2. So you know what? I can take the general form of the equation, y, and it's y equals, but we don't know what the symbol is going to be in there right at the moment. We can say y, and then there's some slope times x plus that y-intercept 2. Ta-da. And then we say, well, let's figure out the slope because we want to know that. Well, we're sitting here at 2, at negative 2 over here, and we go over 1 and up 1. You're looking at that going, that's a lot more than 1, but I'm looking at the things on the graph here. Over 1 and up 1. So my slope in this situation, m is equal to 1 because it goes over 1, up 1. 1 and 1, 1 and 1. So it's a consistent slope there. I can now replace that in my equation. Instead of having an m there, I can put a 1 in there. So now I'm going to look at this and say, do I see a solid line or a dashed line? I see a solid line. Solid line tells me that I've got that little line underneath there, meaning that it could be or equal to. So I'm going to look at that and say, good, I'm getting closer to having the equation, right? So now the question is, how do I know that, I know this side is sloped. Is it less than or is it greater than? We need to figure this out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick this point, 0, 0. It's in the shaded area. That means I want to wind up with a true statement here. So 0, and we don't know which way it's going to point, 0 plus 2. So 0 and something or equal to 2. Well, 0 is less than or equal to 2. So my equation has to be less than or equal to 2. That's how we came up with the inequality. Didn't seem difficult, did it? Finding the y-intercept, finding the slope, those are things we do anyway. Is it dashed or solid? Well, we know whether to have the line under it or not have it under it. Okay? Well, we then pick a point and we have to come up with a true equation or a false equation. If you picked a point out here, this point way over here at negative 2, 2, you could have done that, but then you'd be looking to make it a false equation, and that's a little bit harder to do. It's just easier for me if I pick one that's in the shaded area, then it works out pretty easily. Cool. Well, I'll look forward to seeing you and having lessons in the next unit. Talk to you later. Bye.